We're here, and we're here.
We're welcome. Thank God it's Friday.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Legends Clubhouse. I am Bobby Kaboose, as always, with my co-host PIC, whatever that you want to call him, Lawson Turner. What's going on, man?
What is going on? We got a lot of stuff happened yesterday.
I know, dude. A lot of stuff. I almost didn't make it today.
Yeah.
This was very close to being a solo Lawson show, unless you didn't want to do a solo. But I'm sure you could have talked for an hour. But I didn't want to leave you hanging, man. Yesterday, oh God, dude. So I feel like I know how like pregnant ladies are. Like just like I went through the pain yesterday of be having a male pregnancy, I think, because dude, all day yesterday, my stomach was just bloated to the max, and it was like hard. Like I couldn't push my stomach in. Like it was
There was
like
no
I was
give.
like, what the fuck, man? So it was uncomfortable all day. I'm trying to, go to the bathroom and relieve myself, but it's not, nothing's coming out and shit. No pun intended. But I kept trying to like burp throughout the day too, like, just like force myself to and like relieve some pressure in my stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I make it through work, and I'm sitting there super uncomfortable pretty much all day, and I get in my car and I'm driving, and I'm about to get on the highway. I'm at the light. I just need to go straight right onto the highway,
Mm-hmm.
and I burp a little bit and some shit comes up. You ever burp and stuff comes up and you're like, ugh, So I roll down the window, I spit it out. Man, that's fucking gross. So then, immediately after that, some other shit started coming up, and I'm like, oh God. So I left it in my mouth because I'm like, all right, I gotta get to the right lane. I gotta switch lanes. I gotta turn. There's a no turn on red. There's a guy in front of me. I got a fucking mouthful of puke. And then, obviously you're not gonna be able to hold that in for very long.
Yeah.
Before I was able to make the turn because it was red and the guy in front of me, if I was the first person, I would have fucking turned anyway. I would have just been like, fuck it, dude. I gotta get in this parking lot. So, um, the second round comes up while the first round's still in my mouth. Puke on my shorts, in my car, on my seat, in my, luckily it didn't go in my cup holders, but on the side,
Yeah.
on the carpet, on my mat. Um, finally pull into a parking lot, fucking throw up about 5 more times, like violently,
Did you lose 20 pounds?
dude. So I think I gave birth, man. Like I don't know, dude. Like I was like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
And so um I'm sitting there at the side of the road. The highway's like right there, not it's kind of I was in a business parking lot, and
Mm-hmm.
all like the whole parking lot was still filled. So they were definitely, I was just waiting for people to come out and see me fucking hunched over and just fucking yakking in their fucking parking lot.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, so I puke about 5 or 6 times, like super violently, and then I've been watching Stranger Things. Have you ever seen Stranger Things?
Yeah.
So I'm
I
waiting
watched a
for
couple years
my
ago. Yeah.
puke to like kind of like start forming into something and like slithering away, because I'm like, dude, what the fuck is Vecna in my fucking stomach right now? Am I gonna throw up a demo dog? Like what the fuck?
Right.
uh Oh my God. So, I get back in my car, I'm driving home, and I got puke on my leg and puke in my car. Oh my God, it smelled so bad, dude. So I rolled down the windows. I'm afraid to go in my car today. I cleaned it, and I Lysoled it, but who knows if the smell's still there. It almost smelled like Subway, which I haven't had Subway in months. I don't know why it smelled that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I was able to text my girlfriend. I go, hey, this just happened. Um, can you get some old rags that we don't mind throwing out? Um, you know, can you bring out some Lysol and some cleaner?
Mm-hmm.
And she helped me like a champ. I didn't make her clean anything, but she met me outside when I got home. We rinsed off the mat because it was one of those leather mats,
Oh, it's where
that
you
go on.
just take them out,
Yeah.
spray them down. Yeah.
So most of it was on there, but there
Mm-hmm.
was some on the carpet and there was chunks. It was fucking gross.
I'll give you a
And
tip. I'll give you a tip. When I was young, when me and my sister were younger, there was one time we were visiting our dad and we got sick in the car. And make sure you clean out your fucking air vents because we yacked in the car everywhere and it got in the air vents. So
oh
weeks later, not thinking about it, you cut that heat on and
yeah.
it just gets fucking gnarly, dude. So yeah, if you haven't just, it doesn't hurt because I know you live, the Detroit area. Sometimes it be getting cold. You don't want to turn that
Yeah.
heat on in a couple days, and you're just like, oh fuck,
Oh God, what is that
what died in
smell?
the air
Yeah.
vent? Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the second time this has ever happened to me. The first time was actually the first weekend of March Madness, like probably almost about 10 years ago now.
Yep.
And I used to take half days on the Thursday and Friday, the first weekend of the tournament. Me and my buddies would go to the bar and watch like every game and shit. Well, we do that, and like I wasn't really feeling well, so I wasn't drinking, and
Mm.
there was just something. I was just like, man, I just feel off. So I ended up leaving at like 3 o'clock, and I was going down a very main road near me, and I was like, oh God, and like same kind of thing. It started coming up, and I'm like, fuck, dude, what do I do? And I couldn't hold it long enough, so it sprayed out of my mouth all over my fucking steering wheel.
Nice.
And I'm like, God damn it, dude, this is fucking gross. So I'm like on this main road this time, not even pulled over into a side street or anything. I'm on a main road, just fucking hunched over
Yakking it up.
yakking on the side of the road.
That's
But
that's hilarious.
yeah,
Well,
man.
not
Oh,
hilarious, but it's one of those where I can look back on it now and I'm like, yeah, that was
yeah.
hilariously fucking disgusting.
But like, yeah, I was like, like I hate throwing up, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't think anyone likes it unless you do it for body images purposes or something. But even then, it's a disease,
Yeah.
uh, but or an illness. But yeah, dude. So I am. Yesterday when I was throwing up, I was like, all right, I hope I just get every fucking thing out. Like just fucking I've already thrown up a few times. Make me throw up like fucking like 20 times and just fucking be done with it.
Yeah.
But even last night when I got home, I felt okay, and then I was laying down, and again, there's a bunch of pressure on my stomach, and my girlfriend was like, "Well, why don't you get up and walk around a little bit, walk around the house?" Dude, as soon as I stood up, I'm like, "Yep, gotta go to the bathroom." Fucking goddamn it, dude. And I threw up, but it was literally just like it just looked like stomach acid, and it was like it probably was enough to fill two shot glasses. Like, it wasn't much, but like it still had that throw up. It was coming up. It was
Yeah, the
oh
build up.
shit,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Well, damn.
oh,
Do you
oh,
think it was something you is it something you got was it something you ate? Do you think it was cuz,
I don't know. I don't know because like the girl and I had Italian on Wednesday night. um my stomach, like, it's not normal for me not to have stomach issues after I eat, so like I
Mhm.
had my little stomach issues after, but like I was like, my stomach kind of feels a little upset. Then when I woke up yesterday morning, like I said, like my stomach was just like full. I'm like, dude, this is weird, and so I went and got McDonald's breakfast. um
Classic.
and I was like, okay, let me get a McMuffin. Maybe if I eat something greasy like that, it will push everything out and I can just fucking, volcano erupt the bathroom and blow it up at work, and,
Right.
leave with a huge smile on my face while people are opening the door being like, "Oh my God, what the fuck was that?" Um but that didn't happen. It just sat kind of on top. And I was like, I couldn't
All
even
that
eat my
shit came
second
out.
sandwich. And I was just like, dude, like, this is very uncomfortable. So I'm still debating whether I will be able to make it through a day of work today,
Mm.
because I am just physically like exhausted.
Yeah.
Like that took so much out of me last night. And but I'm here. So just to pre-warn, during the
If
show,
you gotta
there
go,
may be, yeah, if I'm in mid like thing and I just fucking book, like, just take over for me. I might be back, I might not be, I don't know.
right?
So
No, though. But so we had a lot of preseason action, and by a lot, three. We had three preseason
yeah,
games yesterday. Um, did you watch any of it? Did you see any
no,
clips?
no, I'm not stupid. I don't watch fucking preseason. I'm not you. I don't have my Jalen Hurts jersey on or whatever the jersey you have on right now.
This is
Or
the best defensive player in the league, T.J. Watt.
the Dominican Sue. Cool.
I remember. People don't talk about how dominant like Ndamukong Suh was. Like he was one of those players where, to me, he was one of the first. Because he was playing in the era in which I grew up watching and stuff like that. He was
Mhm.
one of the first pure dominant game records from just a pure defensive tackle spot.
Yeah, I felt, because we all kind of knew when the Lions drafted him that he wasn't gonna extend like here. It was just like,
We're gonna enjoy him while he's here.
yeah. So like we knew he wasn't probably gonna get past his rookie contract here. Um, it was a little bittersweet, and it was almost like a better version of Dwight Howard. And the reason I say that is because I like, for Dwight Howard had like the physical tools, and the natural ability to be, I think, one of the best big men of all time.
Yeah.
Yet it just didn't come across that he cared,
Mm.
if that makes sense. And I think that's what, like Sue, like, it just seemed like he had like this natural ability, and he's just a big strong dude, but like he didn't really, and I have no proof to this. I don't know how he feels about the game, but it just seems like he didn't have that like killer instinct, like kind of, I'm just clocking in type thing.
Yeah.
Because there would be times where like you'd be like, okay, did he take a couple plays off? Like, is he throwing in the towel right now?
Mm.
Stomping on people, shit like that, like, just, weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, but
Mm.
yeah, he was actually at Lions training camp the other day, just hanging out. But
Wow.
um, but you didn't even mention my shirt. It's, the Wayback Boys. You know why they call them the Wayback Boys?
No.
Because they go way back. Um, sometimes you just don't have to think about it that deep, man.
Yes.
Um, American Vandal on Netflix, one of the funniest shows I've ever seen. But yeah.
Would you recommend it?
Oh hell yeah,
I'd have
dude.
to check
Have
it
you ever
out.
seen it?
No.
Okay, American Vandal. It's like it's a mockumentary, right? So it's like, like they shoot it as a documentary, but obviously it never happened, and it's comedy, right?
Mm.
So they were kind of making fun of that Making a Murderer, like that series like blew up. So we're talking, over 10 years ago,
Yeah.
probably, and whatever. So this one is, the first season is they have to find out who spray painted dicks on teachers' cars in the parking lot.
Awesome.
So like they go through an investigation, and they, try to find who's guilty, and one of the Wayback Boys is their lead suspect, and he's the one that got expelled for it, but they're trying to prove that he didn't do it and all that stuff. So, and then the
Right.
second season is about the turd burglar. It's, who put X-Lax in the lemonade machine at lunch.
That's
So like
awesome.
they call it I think it was like Brown Friday or Brown Tuesday or something, and like all the, almost every kid in the school was shitting themselves.
Yeah. The,
Yeah,
I,
shitting all over the hallway. And
I remember in one of like the Jackass skits. I don't remember if it was. I don't think it made the movie, but I think it was one of in like the 2.5s or 3.5 ones that come out later. they were
Mm.
doing they were doing enema slash laxative long jumps. So they were doing they would take a laxative and do a long jump, and I'm like,
Oh,
you nasty. They were wearing like white tighty whities, and I'm like, it's a funny idea for a skit, but I'm like, that's
yeah.
fucking gross.
Oh,
And I don't know if you saw this, but speaking of dicks, I don't know if you saw yesterday, another dildo was thrown on another WNBA court
really?
after the no bag policy. They implemented a no bag policy. I can't remember if it was either yesterday or the day before. And then last night, I'm just monitoring all like the sports world and shit like that, and I see on Twitter another sex toy has been thrown on a WNBA court, and I'm like, are we fucking
Is it
serious?
the same green one?
It was not green. I think it was purple.
Oh, yeah, dude,
Shit's
unbelievable. And the first, or one, I think the guy that hit, what's her name, Sophie Cunningham or
yeah.
whatever. I think he got charged.
I saw
He went
I
to
saw
court for it or something.
I saw two people got arrested the other day, and I'm
Yeah.
like, that's a lot of people were saying on the one yesterday, it was like, how'd you sneak it in if there was the no bag policy? hey, when I mean, if you're there to meme, you might as well take it all the way. No pun intended.
Yeah. Well, my one of my buddies was like, "Yeah, you just put it between your butt cheeks when you walk in." I'm like,
Yeah,
"Oh, like, if you got a big enough ass, I guess you can do that."
right. Um, your Detroit Lions and Detroit Tigers also play today. Going forward, Tiger wise first. What do you want to see moving forward? Because I know we're about a week post deadline. Well, probably 8 days now. School Bowl starting today, which we all know it's national. Whenever School
Yeah.
Bowl pitches, it's you can mark it on your calendars for 6 innings minimum, set between 7 and 12 Ks.
We got to definitely right the ship. I think we're like, what is it, 7-16 or something? The last 23.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in about 30 days, we went from a 15 and a half game lead to a six in the Central, which I was telling you, like the danger of having such a big lead is
Mm-hmm.
you don't play any meaningful games before playoffs start. So as long as they can right the ship, we're not talking about anything, right?
Right.
But I think Scott Harris and the front office, I think they did an absolute terrible job at the deadline. Um, you know, um, you have the best record in baseball or close to, and I mean these were all points made on the radio yesterday, so I'm not coming up with anything new, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
not trying to claim that I knew all this shit, but they didn't go for a top 15 guy that was available. Like you look at the Yankees and they're not even as good as the Tigers as far as record wise. And, you go out and go get, your studs like usual. At least they try.
They were
Like,
in the mix.
yeah, to think that, you just have this thing wrapped up and you're in the middle of this losing streak, and to not add a bat, to not add like quality players, it's like we traded for someone and then they're like, well, we're not sure if he's good enough to be on the roster, so they sent him down or some shit, and I'm like, the fuck. And then another dude is like already on the IL, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck is going on here? So
Uh-huh.
the next couple series, I think we got the Angels this weekend, and
Yep.
then we have Minnesota coming up again, and I think we have Chicago maybe. Um, those three series, dude, like we have to be like 6-4, like
Mm.
because that puts the pressure on Cleveland. I was actually looking at putting a couple bucks on Cleveland winning the division because it's like at like plus 1100 right now,
Yeah, and
and
with
we got to avoid being the fucking 2024 Minnesota Vikings or Minnesota Twins, sorry,
mm,
and being on the fucking Titanic slowly fucking drowning right now. So we got to avoid this goddamn iceberg because if it gets under 5 games, dude, that's like one series. If we play Cleveland and they sweep us, then it's down to two. It's getting a little less comfortable.
yeah. Um, do you think? Obviously, you never want to see your team go through such a bad stretch like this. But do you think it's a
Mhm.
blessing in disguise? Because you've beat to the tone of for weeks that we have a 15 game lead, and we're not gonna have any stressful games or series until wild card or
Yeah.
your first
It could
playoff
be.
series.
It could be. I just don't want to get it so close that it's like, okay, now we're actually fighting for the division.
Hmm.
Um, but it's oh man, it's um a thing where like if we basically need to play 500 baseball for the rest of the season, and
Yeah.
hopefully get hot like the last week. But like Baez is back to being Baez. Riley Green is like one of the worst players in fucking baseball the last like month. Um, so it's I think with this current state that we're in,
Hmm.
I think it's bringing a lot of people, especially locally, back down to earth because I've been telling you for months that I don't think the Tigers are a World Series contender,
Right.
and I think people are realizing that now. Like I
Yeah.
think it went from like, man, we're gonna win the World Series, we're gonna get to the World Series, we're gonna do this, that, and another, and now it's like, okay, like we might not get out of wild card weekend, or we might not get out of the ALDS. Like
I
we
still.
have Scooble, like our three would be going Scooble, Mize, and Morton. Uh,
You don't believe in
Mize,
Flaherty?
Mize, Mize is Mize. He's hit or miss, and then Morton, he's 80.
You don't believe in
Like
Jack Flaherty?
no,
Yeah.
no.
You already know me. He's Mr. 5 2/3. Like that fucker cannot give you 6 good innings. No though, but in my opinion, like here's my take on the whole situation. Um, it is good that there's some adversity because if you're just a dominant team all year and like
Mhm.
let's say you win 100 games and then you lose the series opener against whoever, then it's like damn, we got punched in the mouth. How are we going to respond,
Yeah.
to the point to where now if it does turn into a dogfight for the division, obviously it's not what you want. However, it's the heightened sense of all right guys, we got to right the ship, we got to get our shit together,
Mhm.
to your point, I think your starting rotation is, it's obviously above average. When, when you have one of, if not the best pitcher in baseball,
Yeah.
whenever he takes the
But he
mound,
only
if it
pitches once, dude, or he only pitches one game at a time. So it's like
that's what I'm
it's not
saying.
like you're not gonna CC Sabathia his ass, or actually you should, because he's not. Dude, I would put him out every fucking third day because he ain't re-signing with the Tigers. Fucking win now, get your goddamn World Series, and fucking trade his ass after the end of the year
Do you,
or after next year. At the deadline next year.
do you think that anyone will ever pitch like that again?
What CC did?
Yeah,
Hell no. If Scooble doesn't do it this year, no.
yeah,
Because that's what I would do. I'd be like, okay, this motherfucker is only under contract for another year after this year. He is not signing long term. We already know that. Like he's gonna want like $500 million, and the Tigers aren't gonna fork it up.
yep.
All right, so what we do is, and this is what even pisses me off about management as well, is that this. You know that he's probably not like I would give him a 10% chance of re-signing with the Tigers. Um, so why not fucking show not only your fans but your fucking players that you're gonna go all in this year and try to win a goddamn World Series at the deadline and go get fucking somebody.
Right. Or at least be in the conversation for everyone. Like
Yeah.
example that you brought up about the Yankees, even though like they got their bullpen super straight, even though that's been like it's so funny because right after the trade deadline, there were the talks on Twitter and social media like, oh, the Yankees got this super bullpen, and like the first 3 games afterwards they were just getting fucking destroyed. Um,
Yeah.
at least the Yankees were like there was not a player on the trade or available that they weren't in the they're calling about him.
Right.
It seemed like Detroit just they were only in on Suarez and a couple other like smaller pieces, not like your intermediate ones that can really cuz for as in this, for as much of high-end talent you can have on a baseball team, it's really a lot about your intermediate stars.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's rumors speculating on Scott Harris not being the easiest to deal with
Mhm.
in these negotiations. So like, it's he's a who is it? Theo Epstein. He's a Theo guy. He was under his tutelage or whatever. So I don't know if he's an arrogant dude. I know he's younger, but
Mhm.
yeah, man, check your ego at the door if you haven't fucking done anything yet.
Yeah. The I don't know. I think today cuz school pitches what every 7th day, 6th day, 8th day, somewhere
I
around
mean,
there.
every fifth start, we have
Um
five. I think.
so what?
I think we have a normal 5-man rotation,
Yeah. Um yeah,
essentially once a week.
when it
But
comes
these school starts, I don't know if this is where you're getting at, but these school starts are almost becoming must wins. Like,
dude,
okay, if school's on a bye week
110%.
to win.
Dude, that was what I was getting at to where like when you're putting your best arm out there, it is we are fumbling a chance at a almost guaranteed win cuz
Yeah.
you know for the most part what you're going to get with a school ball start.
Exactly. You're gonna, get maybe, you know, one or zero to 3 or 4 runs let up, and if you score 5, you should win,
Right.
So,
There should be no exceptions as if Scooble pitches a 7 inning 2 hit 8K performance, if you don't win those fucking games, then it's like okay, well we're wasting a start.
right.
Eh,
Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
I mean that's I think in the grand scheme of things that Detroit is still in like the World Series bubble. Like you're not in the dead heap of it. However, once again, I wouldn't be surprised if Detroit made it. I don't think it would.
right.
I don't think it would shock. Now,
It just all depends on who gets hot at the right time, but like it's like, you look at Detroit's roster
yeah.
versus like the Yankees or like the Dodgers, and you're like, there is no way this team is gonna win a World Series.
Unless
Like,
once again you get crazy hot and Scooble pitches
right,
3 of the 7 games.
yeah. I mean, like I said, I would put Scuba out there every third day, man. Like I'd be like in the playoffs, I'd be like, dude, if his arm fucking falls off, I don't fucking care. He's not gonna be a Tiger for his whole career. Like
Yeah.
whatever, dude. See you later. You know,
Has there been any leaks, rumors, or indications that he's just not? Like, has there been any contract talk?
there's been not from what I've heard as far as contract talk, but his agent is Scott Boras. He's gonna be fucking going for money. Just as the Tigers have been since Mike Ilitch died. His son doesn't spend money. We are a small market team at this point. Um, we are in like I think we're in the bottom third of payroll.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you just know he's not going to sign here. It's like I would be absolutely shocked if we were to keep him
Mm-hmm.
for 5, 6 more years or whatever, 7 more years. Like, and at that point too, like, okay, you're building yourself around one guy. You like again, he's not gonna sign Scooble and then just go buy,
Go get
sign.
Schwarber. Go get Schwarber on the open market or somebody like that.
Right. It's gonna be like Scooble and nothing, or you spread that money out if you decide to actually spend money. But like the guy doesn't, and
Yeah.
apparently we have a really good farm system, but like you gotta sometimes you gotta take the Dombrowski approach because you don't know how good these prospects are gonna be. So fucking trade the prospects while they're hot for a proven commodity.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. Where, and I think I said it when we were talking about the trade deadline and stuff like that. It's almost an NBA-esque feel or NFL-esque feel where if you're one of the best teams or have the potential to make a championship series or game, why not just push all your chips in the middle of it? And like you've seen how hot this team can get over the past 2 years.
Right.
Like it was what a
And
.001% chance to make the playoffs, and then they were the best team in baseball over the last year of or over the last
Mhm.
month of last season. And look at the
Yeah.
red hot start that they got off to up until uh, All Star.
Right. And I think as far as the four major sports, I think winning a World Series is probably the hardest one.
Dude, so
Because like
much shit has to go right.
right, and like it's a long season. Teams aren't, they're you got your Dodgers and your Yankees who are always in the mix, but like you don't have the same teams every year competing for the World Series. You don't, like anything can go wrong during the season.
Hmm.
Um, and if you're like the Boston Celtics are going to be good until they get rid of Tatum and Brown, right? And
Yeah,
that core guys. You have the same core for a while. Baseball, you really don't have that.
you don't really
Like
have a core. You might have two,
right,
three, at most maybe four guys, and one of them might not even start. You know.
right. So.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
That's
As
why
to
when you have a shot, you got to take it. So, but you did mention NFL preseason.
mhm.
You and I don't fucking care about preseason. I never cared about preseason, so probably won't watch anything. But Shador, I think, is starting tonight, right?
Shador is starting tonight. I think they're in Carolina. From a prospect standpoint, I'm excited because once again, when you are one of the hottest names out of the
Hmm.
draft and then you fall to the fifth round, it's okay. Well, I want to see what he does. I want to see if he's mobile. I want to see if his accuracy, translates. Now, once again, he's playing against the twos and threes, but it'll still be interesting to see me as to who does he favor target wise, and can he read and react just as well as he did at Colorado.
Apparently, he's gotten zero reps with the first team.
Yeah, from stuff that I've seen and read, uh, uh, Joe Flacco, as it currently sits for depth chart wise, Shadur's fourth, which
Yeah.
Gabriel's
Where's Watson?
where's who?
Is Watson their starter?
He's he's out. He popped his Achilles last year at the end of the year, so he's gonna miss the whole year.
Cool. Good investment.
When I'll never forget when it happened. I think I texted my dad. I said, couldn't have happened to a better guy, which is fucked
Dude,
up because we don't like injuries, but
yeah, but I mean, the dude, like, when they made the trade, I was like, he had sat out like the last year of Houston, right?
yeah.
I was like, dude, like, a lot of guys can't just sit out a year and then come back and be great.
And
And I
play
was like, I don't
quarterback.
like,
And play quarterback.
yeah, exactly.
Like, that's
Yeah,
one of the hardest positions to play. A lot of it's mental, and his mental's fucked because of his off the field stuff.
yeah. And I was like, man, I don't like, I kind of called him being somewhat of a bust at the time, and it was funny because I like they were talking about him coming here, and what you would give up for him, and one of the local radio hosts was like he would have gave up the fucking house for him, and like luckily we didn't,
I was gonna say, I
is
mean, it's so funny because the last year that he played in Houston, he led the league in passing. And
Mhm.
he's had a lot of really good moments and stuff like that, but it seems as if the off the field stuff really derailed what.
Yeah,
And once again, I don't think he would have been like an all time great quarterback. However,
right,
he showed flashes of being a consistent top 8 to 5 quarterback, and when you have one of those top 5 to 8 quarterbacks, your team is always in the mix to contend for a Super Bowl.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think Houston. I think they're in a good spot, but I'm still, I'm still a little like, um, weary about C.J. Stroud and Jordan Love. I think the
Bingo,
question's still
bingo,
out on.
bingo. I. The only way it could have sounded better is if I would have said it. Nah, though, but for real, I'm right there with you. Where when these young quarterbacks, when they get hot or when they come out of the game, they look really good. It's like, oh wow, these are your next ones, and I'm like, Jordan Love, the first 4 games of the season before he set the NFL on fire, Matt LaFleur came out and said this next stretch of games is going to be important for his career because
Yeah,
he was terrible. And
right.
then with CJ, you can have a great rookie year, and then the following year, that year being last,
Hmm.
he's worse in every statistical category. Your team is still solid because you're in the AFC South. So
Right,
it's not like it's not like you're competing against the Chiefs in your division.
right.
I still think he'll be he's it's so funny because of the year he had his rookie year. He will be a serviceable quarterback for a long time, but
Yeah,
do I know if he can exceed his rookie expectations? Because once again, after his rookie year, it's who would you want to start your franchise with? CJ number one.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're getting like the comparisons, like, oh, would you rather have Mahomes or CJ right here? Like, come on now. But
Right.
I think Caleb's in that category. Um, I think um, who else? There was one other dude that I was gonna bring up
Mhm.
that can't think of who it is.
Michael Penix.
Um, no, because he didn't play the whole year. His
He played like the last like 3 games, and he was alright.
yeah, um, yeah, he was decent. I think they were better with him than Kirk Cousins, and I think Kirk Cousins is probably fine being the backup because he's making fucking $35 million a year or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but there was somebody else that had a decent rookie season, and the next year they kind of fell off.
Oh, I was gonna say when you said the next year, I was gonna say if you're talking about rookies last year, you got Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is another one to me. I'm like, he was awesome last year. However,
Yeah.
when you come out of nowhere like that,
Hmm.
I want to see it again.
Right. Yeah. And once, they have a whole year of tape and shit on you, dude, like it becomes a different story. Defenses will adjust but yeah, it should be interesting, especially with the 4 quarterbacks last year. Like they were all pretty solid.
Yeah.
To see if, there's some major drop off or, if anyone takes the next level, sophomore slump or not.
And then there's still the question mark with JJ McCarthy. Because
Yeah.
he was one where coming out, and then I think he played in one preseason game. He looked straight. The only thing is,
Mhm.
how he played in college is not how Kevin O'Connell wants to call an offense. Kevin O'Connell,
Right.
we finna pass this pill all around the field 40 times a game, and
Exactly, dude.
and
Like I was telling people like when he got drafted, of course, if you've watched the show, I'm anti-Michigan.
right.
But you know, I was like, man, I just don't know if he's gonna be that great in the NFL because it wasn't like the offense at Michigan. They didn't put him on he didn't put them on his back. Like it was run game, run game, run game, play action. Like
Yeah. And
you know.
every quarterback, it doesn't matter if you are Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun Kaiser, every quarterback's better on play action.
Right. Oh, who I was thinking about was Anthony Richardson. He played what, like 4 games in his rookie year, then got hurt, and like the next year, people are, oh man, the
Well,
Colts are gonna win. I'm like, dude, the Colts aren't gonna be any good. He's still technically a rookie. Like he's only started 4 games. Like
he,
he's not gonna come out here and be fucking amazing.
bro, he was one of the most rawest prospects, especially at the quarterback position that I'd ever seen coming out. Because he played what, like 11, him and Jordan Love, because they played what 10, 11 games in college,
Mhm.
and then he got took, number 4 overall, and it's like as a raw prospect, there's the prospect and project talks.
Yeah.
And he's more of a project than a prospect as it currently states. However, like just from a natural talent, huge arm, mobile, big, strong. But you look last night. Once again, he had to leave the game due to an injury, even though
Right.
it was only a pinky. But it's still like if you were to pull up just Anthony Richards highlights, if you were to like say there was someone a non NFL viewer, and we're gonna show you this highlight clip of Anthony Richardson. They're like, holy fuck, that's the best. That's the best dude that throws the ball in whatever sport this
Right.
is. Like he makes these crazy ass plays where it's him and maybe one other person in the entire league slash world could do, but then he'll miss
Right.
layups.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And he like I said, dude, he started what, 4 games his first year, 4 or 5 games, and then people had these high expectations for the second year. Now he might not even be their fucking starter. Who don't they have somebody else?
Daniel Jones, yeah, they picked up Daniel
Yeah.
Jones in free agency.
Yeah. Danny Dimes, dude. Danny frickin' Dimes. Um but yeah, dude, he might be a huge bust by the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um and it's crazy. Like I said, like the 4 quarterbacks that went last year, they all kind of had somewhat success. I mean, Drake May found his rhythm
He just
towards the end,
flashes.
right? So, it should be interesting to see,
Mm-hmm. Next
what
year.
kind of stuff they take. But you did mention before the show that you got the Madden beta, right?
Uh,
For access or something?
yeah, the early access. So normally, if you get like your MVP Deluxe edition of it, you get the game 3 days early. This year, they did it a whole
Mhm.
week early, and so I'll give you, the gamer side of it. A lot of these early releases, especially with a title as big as Madden, the servers are always hit or miss. So
Yeah,
for a lot of people, when they got onto the game, there was the issue saying that they didn't like buy it, like you didn't own it, and it's like, well, I have the fucking receipt. You gladly took my
right.
money, and then so after that issue, you got into the game. Um, it servers were hit or miss, and then when EA fixed the issue for everybody that you can get into the game, that obviously overflowed the fuck out of their server. So then
Mhm.
they had to shut the server down to fix on stuff. For people that say that Madden is like the same every year, um it because I've been playing this game since I was a kid.
Yeah, same.
I've
I mean, there's only like I think last year and one other year, it was the only times I didn't buy it. Like I've bought it every year since like 2001.
Yeah, like that's a core memory of my childhood, growing up and playing Madden with my friends, and I've met a assload of people, awesome people, like playing this game and stuff. But to say when example like Madden '08 is better than like the Maddens now, well, if you played Madden '08, the only reason as to why people say back then, like example Madden 12, if there was a glitch, no one would really know about it because there were only a handful of people doing content like that back then.
Hmm.
So for all your people that don't like online play because of the glitchers or the cheese plays, it's like, well, there's more information out now. Everybody, even in the gaming world, to compare it to sports, everyone just gets better over time. So the talent pool for players and stuff, it grows and grows and grows. But you brought up a good point. The movement is slightly different and improving
Yeah.
every single year. There's more plays. There's just it looks graphically better. I've played I think 12 games on this one so far, and I like it. The movement's a lot better than last year. A lot of the playbooks, I think they almost tripled the amount of unique plays that are in this game, so it gives you a lot more variety. They revamped a lot of the franchise mode stuff for a lot of offline franchise players.
Me.
Yeah,
That's me.
yeah, they did
That's
it.
what I do.
They revamped it and did a lot of cool stuff with it, to where stuff from the draft to player personnel to all the kinds of stuff that because I remember I think it was Madden 18 or 19. They as in the Madden community, we were all tweeting out, hashtag fix franchise mode because it hadn't been touched in like the previous 4 years.
Yeah, and that's how I base it off. But like I said, the movement's always different. The gameplay is actually always different. But it's similar, but like they do make improvements. But like, yeah, I would always want the franchise mode to have a little different features. Like I want like a relocation feature. I want an expansion draft feature. Like
Yeah,
let me make my own team.
yeah.
Um, but what is a cheese play?
Uh, uh, okay, so a cheese play. So what's a good example? So on offense, what some people consider cheese plays would be like your one play touchdowns. So
Okay.
if I have great example, and if there are any Madden heads watching, you might know what I'm talking about. So in Madden, well, there are cover three and cover two beaters, and four. Like for every coverage, there's a beater for it. So there is a play that's been really popular out of almost whatever trip set in Madden, called PA post shot. So what you would do, basically it's a 3x1 set, aka the trips. Then you would put your X receiver on the far side of that trip side. You would put them on a comeback, and then the deep post on the left side. You would motion them into the slot, and if they're in cover three, then your third deep blue on this side that's on the comeback side, it's gonna come down and cover the comeback, and just let the post run right behind it. So so it's basically
Confusing for me.
manipulating the AI. Well, I mean, it's a, if you don't like it, don't play it.
All right.
But the thing that was like really irking me, because no sports game will ever be like compared in the gaming stratosphere. It'll never be good. They'll always be just
Oh yeah. I
5 out of 10s. Like
well you look at like even the retro games, dude. Like there's one game I forget exactly what game it was, but it was a game for like Nintendo, this basketball game, and like fucking Family Guy makes fun of it because like you could just there was a
corner
glitch where you
three,
could just
yeah,
corner three, corner three, corner three, corner
yeah,
like I
like
mean every fucking
every
game has that.
110%. Every game's got bugs. Every game's got glitches, or
Mm-hmm.
your meta, or what's overpowered or busted in the game. Like
Have you
the
played NCAA?
huh? Yeah, I played NCAA.
So which one would you, if you were to get one, which one would you go with?
I'm a Madden head, so I like Madden.
See, but I would normally say that too, but I had so much fun playing the NCAA last year. I
It
don't, I'm literally
it
torn, and
yeah,
I'm thinking about what I'm thinking about doing is just every other year. Like this year I'll get Madden, next year I'll get NCAA.
yeah. The NCAA from this year to last year, it's not as the movement's a little slower. It's not as arcadey as it was last year. Now, obviously, for all sports games, they're gonna have their issues, but
Mm.
I thought NCAA won the Madden versus NCAA last year, and this year, even though once again the game's only been out, you know, 16 hours, I like Madden.
Yeah. Well, so with the NCAA last year, the only thing that well, there's a couple things I didn't like. I didn't like how the ranking system was like way off. Like you would see like teams with 3 losses in the top 25.
Yeah.
Um it was way too easy to get like a better coaching job.
Mm.
Um and the other thing was the playbooks. Like I only found like one playbook that I liked. Like I wanted to run like a spread offense, but then like there would be like shit like way out to the sides and like minimal plays and shit. And I'm like, dude, this is fucking stupid. Like I tried so many different playbooks, and
Mm.
the one I love, and I don't know how I came across it, but it was, and because I wasn't this team, but I used Eastern Michigan's, the
Yeah.
fucking Eagles, I think they are.
Yeah, that's what's pretty cool about NCAA is the all the uniqueness of it due to its college,
Yeah.
and the uniqueness is still kind of there in Madden. There are obviously there's going to be, there's overlap of formations, plays, and stuff like that. But when it just grinds my gears when, I guess, because I've been playing it for a long time, that Madden's the same every year. It's like, you want to know a game that's really the same every year? MLB. How much different can you change MLB? You know what it is? You're swinging a bat and you're pitching. That shit's the same now than when it was, in 2004. It's the same.
Again, they got to make it where you can make an expansion team.
I know in franchise mode you can relocate
Relocate,
teams. Yeah, you can do
and you can
that.
make a stadium and shit like that. But
Yeah.
I need the expansion. I need like
An
the
expansion would be pretty
I
cool.
think the only Madden to ever have an expansion was when the Texans were new. You
Mm,
could take their roster or you could draft your own.
yeah.
And I was like, that's pretty cool. And I would always draft my own.
Yeah, because that's the fun part about it. I know you can do a fantasy draft.
Yeah, I don't want to do fantasy drafts.
I was gonna say, but then
fantasy
that
drafts are,
shuffles the entirety of the
yeah,
league.
fantasy drafts are stupid.
Sometimes what me and some boys way back in the day, we would and we would also do this on 2K. We would do a franchise, and then we would do a fantasy draft. Like, we would pick our teams, and then we would just sim the draft. And whoever we got is whoever we got, and we wouldn't check our rosters, and we would just go in and play. So when we,
Yeah.
get on the court or see our lineups, we're like, oh shit, we got, like,
John
you know,
Barry.
yeah, or insert, X, NBA legend.
Steve
'Cause, dude, what you know about the franchise?
I know everything about the franchise. You don't know anything about the franchise. uh, but oh man, so yeah, I might be going with Madden then
Yeah.
this year and do the every other. Um, but I am gonna miss NCAA. Dude, I don't think I've ever played, or it's been a long, long time since I played a game that much.
It
And
was
didn't get
really
bored.
good and really fun. And
Yeah,
and
I went through a whole 30-year dynasty.
yeah, like 30 years deep is I remember I think we were hanging out on a call after your 30th year, and they're like, they just made me retire. What the fuck?
Yeah,
And it's like, yeah, dude, that's when, for like coaching and stuff like that, they'll cap you, like 30 years or whatever,
yeah.
which is, let me go out there like Pete Carroll, because I think Pete's in his like late 70s. I saw
I had
I saw him last
I
night, in Seattle. He looked just as hype as he did 15 years ago.
I had a franchise a few years back with the Houston Texans,
Yeah,
like when they didn't have a quarterback. Because I always like picking teams that don't have a quarterback, simming the first year and trying to get my guy.
yeah,
Um, so I drafted this dude named Stan Moran, and we called him Stan the Man Moran
yeah.
because he won 5 Super Bowls with the Houston Texans.
It's awesome.
And my buddy was like he would come over for Raw like almost weekly,
Hmm.
and I would be playing the game when he got there, and he's like, "Oh man, how's Stan doing?" I'm like,
That's
"Just won
awesome.
another Super Bowl, dude." He's like, "Fuck yeah."
We One of my boys did that with the Falcons a couple years ago, and he fell in love with this player who's actually still in the NFL. His name's what was his name? Felipe Franks.
Felipe Franks.
And you know what's even more funny? He's still on the Falcons, and he's a tight end. He's not even a quarterback. And in franchise, he was a quarterback. So
He's a quarterback.
he's a quarterback that in IRL transitioned to tight end. And yes, that F did
Right.
take me a minute, fuckers. Felipe
I mean,
Franks, man.
I thought you just froze for a minute, dude. You're
Yeah,
like,
yeah, lagged, bro. I that was when I realized that, like, because I've been the youngest in every friend group and stuff like that. I'm grateful with the friends that I made online, because, dude, when I was, fucking like, 14, 15, when I would stutter,
you
God,
had no friends.
they'd give me hell. Like, they would say I'm the fucking sprinkler. They would say I'm starting the lawnmower. One of my fucking boys even said, Lawson, every time you stutter, just smack yourself in the back of the fucking head. Eventually, it'll start hurting and you won't want to hit yourself anymore. And I'm like, thanks.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean,
I mean,
yeah.
we all know that you don't have in real life friends, so
Well, yeah, dude. I don't want to go into the public and the public be there.
I know, man. Look, I mean, you look a little pasty. I don't think you've seen the sun in probably years.
Yeah, dude, shit's scary out there. I'm like the dude
Probably
in
since you, probably since you graduated high school last year, right?
I'm like the I'm like the dude in Benchwarmers that be
Yeah,
eating suntan lotion.
hell yeah, you are.
That's funny. Now the but
Ready to go.
really quick before we do Nerfies, what do you want to see tonight on SmackDown?
I want John Cena to turn heel.
And do you think we see Brock?
I think so. I think so. I think we see Brock. Um, but I want Cena to turn back heel. I hate that. I like it. Literally, like I think we talked about this. I think it literally made him like irrelevant for the next 4 months for me.
Yeah.
Like I don't care. Like
hmm
whatever, dude.
I think
Cena
Brock comes out and cuts a
Cena
cool.
was never my guy anyway. But
Yeah.
I thought it was like I thought it was cool that he turned heel, and I was
hmm
looking forward to seeing where they went with it. And I think they dropped the ball.
Yeah. I do think Brock comes out and cuts a pretty cool promo.
Yeah.
Because even though Brock, it's so funny because Brock's voice doesn't match, his stature.
Hmm.
I think he's really underrated on the mic, even though historically, especially when Vince was there, it's like we have this beast. Let's put him with a talker, someone to
Right.
talk for him almost per se. But yeah, I think Brock comes out tonight, and I think he cuts a fire promo.
Yeah, I've always thought like people that get pissed about Brock showing up when he wants. I've always thought Brock was awesome.
Yeah, he is just as advertised a monster.
Yeah. So Nerfy time.
Nerfy
I can't believe I made
time.
it through the show because
You're feeling it.
I'm my last limb right here. I'm gonna go with the Royals and Twins. They start at 8-10. Seth Lugo's going for the Royals. He's got an 8-5 record. We don't care about records, but he's got a 3.06 ERA with 107 strikeouts against Joe Ryan. He's got a 10-5 record, 2.83 ERA with 141 strikeouts. The Twins lineup is a minor league team at this point, and the Royals, as long as Bobby Witt stays off the base path, we should be good.
I'm not going with this game, but I saw this on Twitter. Max Scherzer, is starting for the Blue Jays, and Kershaw's starting for the Dodgers. This is the second time that they've ever faced off against each other, and the first